Hi everyone, Sean Waldman with Secure Cyber Defense, and this is your weekly cyber update from Tel Aviv, Israel. The first thing we're going to talk about today in the headlines is the intrusion into Twilio. If you're not familiar with Twilio, it's used for multi-factor authentication, and a threat actor using an unsecured API was able to verify almost what's told to be 33 million phone numbers associated with the Twilio service. Now what this means is that there are approximately 33 million people that are potentially going to be possible victims or could be victims of SMS phishing as well as SIM swapping. So take every precaution that you can. This is very likely a situation where you need to educate end users and get up to speed with the potential impacts to a SIM swap or in most cases SMS phishing. SMS phishing is not something that companies generally train for. So if you're using the service that you use to phish your end users, make sure that you've got a service that also allows you to do it on the phone if possible. That's an angle of end user training that's not typically done. Here at Secure Cyber Defense, you know that we've talked about Cywareness before, and that's the company that we use. Cywareness.io is the company that we use to do that, and they also have a SMS phishing a module. Next thing I wanted to talk about today, there's a new ransomware variant out there called El Dorado ransomware, and apparently it's targeting a number of VMware servers that are publicly exposed to the internet, first of all. So this is a good opportunity to just talk about just general VMware hygiene. Definitely make sure that your VMware infrastructure is patched and updated, as well as making sure that if at all possible, that you're not exposing your VMware instance out to the public internet. Also take this opportunity to check with VMware and make sure that you're using all of the security best practices, and most certainly making sure that if possible that you're using security features like MFA to secure the instance of VMware. Currently there's approximately, I think, 16 victims now globally that's hitting healthcare and some other verticals. So just make sure that you're taking the time to look at your VMware instance and make sure that it's up to date. The last article we're going to cover for today, and by the way, if you've noticed that the lighting is changing as we go through each one of these headlines, the sun is setting behind us in the Mediterranean, so that's making the lighting a little bit difficult. We're actually on the top floor of the hotel that we're staying at here in Tel Aviv, so I apologize for the quality of the video. So the last thing that we're going to cover is Patelco in California was hit with a ransomware attack. They're a very large credit union serving almost 400,000 members with assets around 19 billion. So we don't hear about banking systems very often being hit with ransomware attacks. However, this particular credit union was hit with a ransomware attack, and it's just one of those situations where we point out, unfortunately, they've had to shut down a lot of their systems, which means that a lot of members are not able to access their online accounts, and the bank's not able to do some transactions. So this is just an opportunity to let everyone know that ransomware, is still rampant. It's still big out there. And it's probably one of the #1 things that you'll run into out in the wild. So just take the time to make sure that your security infrastructure is up to speed. Check out general hygiene items, make sure that your patching is up to date, that you've got good backups. Test that incident response plan, have an incident response plan, but more importantly, once you have it, make sure that you test it and you drill for it. The other two things that get left behind generally is what is your disaster plan. So what is your business continuity plan, and what's your disaster recovery plan? So the disaster recovery, or the DR, and the business continuity piece are pieces that generally get left behind, as well as the incident response plans. So a cyber incident can trigger the other two items, the business continuity as well as the disaster recovery piece. So make sure that you're taking the time to educate board members on what could possibly happen in the event of a ransomware attack, how long that you'll be down, what it's going to take to bring you back online, and also make sure that executives are part of the testing of your incident response plans, so that there's good just communication continuity between those two groups. Well, that's all we have for you today. Again, we're coming to you from Tel Aviv, Israel. If some of you wonder why in the world I'm here, I actually come to Israel 2 or 3 times a year in order to check out new technologies. Israel is the cybersecurity capital of the world. So I take the time to come out here and I interview new technology startups, specifically in the cyber field, to look for that newer technology that I can possibly bring back to the U.S. To make sure that, for our customers at Secure Cyber, to make sure that we're doing all of that due diligence and we're making sure that we're using the latest and the greatest technology to combat hackers and all the cyber attacks that are going on. So that's why I'm here. If you're ever interested in traveling with my delegation, please just drop me a line. We'll put our email down in the description on how to contact us. We actually have a website out there if you'd like to look at it. It's secdef.com/Israel with some information about our March group that we'll be bringing over here. And it's very limited people, so I can't take a lot of folks. I generally take about 10 to 12 people over here and give them the opportunity to experience the Israeli culture, as well as letting you experience what it's like to see startups in the cyber field and what problems that they're trying to solve. That's all we have for you today. Thanks for tuning in. Like and subscribe, pass this around, share it with others. If you like this channel, we appreciate your viewership. Those of you who have subscribed that keep coming back and listening, I appreciate you very much. Now let's really be careful out there.